Hello, I am Dr. B. Power. I am Dr. Brenda Power. The doctor represents the metaphysics. What is the nature of being? And my job here is to help you understand by bringing information, breaking it down for beginners about healing. Healing is your right. Healing is yours. You have the ability to heal yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically by doing it with connecting with that heart-brain coherence, with the way that the brain functions and the way the heart operates, and having the honeymoon effect to help heal you. That means we got to change some beliefs. You're made of energy. A lot of people don't even know they're made of energy. So you're not feeling well. Okay, so is it the flu? Is it the emotions? Is it the mental processing? Is stress? What is? So start to label, I'm not feeling well. It wasn't something that the doctor told you, or that it's just that you woke up and you're supposed to feel your way through life, and your sensory systems, and especially internal ones, internal organs, are saying, something's off. Now, sometimes it can be just as simple as believing your past, believing your emotions. Hello, how are you? So, Jenny, how is it you're not feeling well? How do you know this? And it's important to connect with how you know things. Now, most of the time, you're going to find out as you begin to heal, moving energy, changing your belief system. You don't have to start you believing or always believing your BS, your belief systems, because most of the time we have lived life and experiences by practice that we have memorized it to the point that we are our programs. We don't have to learn how to do things again, like walking and talking in some cases. It's physical and mental. So physically, is there pain that causes you to mentally go, ugh, So what kind of physical pain do you have? And our body needs us. It needs us to move. It needs us to stretch. So depending on your age and other things. So this is where communication, having a communication with you, that's what we do. So if I said, there's a belief system, and she says, this is my experience, that she says, I'm not feeling well. And this is where then I would look at the energies that you are emanating off. And what I'm seeing is that you had an experience in your reality that you rejected something. You're like, and I said, was this with a person? And they said, yes. And so I said, okay. And is your body feeling it? Yes. And I said, what is the mental construct of this? And there's a certain obsessing. So you're obsessing about something, you're thinking about something, you're focused, over focused on something. It seems to be part of your 41 thoughts. I says, what does it affect? It affects my gallbladder. I feel overpowered sometimes. And so emotional chemical peptides, these are the peptides that can make you healthy or make you sick. So your body is agreeing with whatever you're thinking about. And if I look more at the mental, they keep going back that you're just like, but I don't agree with something. Does this make sense? There's such a delay, as I'm talking to Jenny. We'll see what happens. But as we begin to interact with ourselves and to begin to understand, most of the time we're taught that we can't do anything for ourselves unless it comes into a pill, or, it's all about time. Time is important, and all of the medicines and everything, but there are things that you don't know about that you could do. So if you could measure your mental, she said yes. So if you could, find your words, how do you know you know? So put it in best words for yourself. Hi. Put it in the best words for yourself. And then we're going to have you measure. How do you know it? So that means you're not only going to be going, oh, you're going to bring it to your awareness. As you bring it to your awareness, you're going to be able to measure it, which means you're going to look at the intention. And then I'm going to give you a tool so that you can start to move the mental chemical peptides and help the body feel better. Well, okay. We'll talk to you later, Jason. Okay. So you can find us on YouTube. And if you like this program, go over to YouTube and subscribe. Help me get to at least 500. I'd love to have 1,000. I'd love to have more. So, but I can't do this unless you subscribe. Okay, get notified, hit all. Now, here's the thing. Jenny, I'm giving you a reading. You can rewatch this reading and keep applying the healing so that you can begin to wake up even further. Because when we are asleep, meaning we feel this way, but we don't quite understand, or we feel this way when we feel like we can't do it because we feel powerless. At any given moment, you're constantly hitting the interference pattern field. Okay, it's either going to be constructive or destructive. And the more that you react to it, the more you define it, the more you intellectualize it, the more you have to be your whole part. You need to start bringing in your heart brain coherence to help you. So when the brain is being bothered by the chemical peptides based on negative emotions, or having an experience like, oh, I can't believe they said that, or oh, that really bothers me. And you don't realize you rejected it. Rejection, you rejecting something out of your reality creates chemical peptides. People need to begin to see the chemical peptides. Okay, so it's super important. Now, whether she's here or she's gone, the lag is so bad. But again, when I said to her, you're starting to begin to understand this, you can use energy to move. This isn't me going, wee! No, this, yes, you can put hands on healing. You can do reconnection, Reiki, and all kinds of energy healing, but I'm telling you how to apply it. So I'm going to do it on myself. And then you take responsibility to do it for yourself and move the chemicals out of your brain. Okay, so did you hear my questions? Can you put it into words? You said, because you go like, I'm not sick, but I'm not feeling well. So I'm not feeling well. Now, that's the only words you can come up with after all that I said, that's fine. But have you taken in the words that, did you have an experience where you rejected something out of your reality? And you may not even be aware of it because you've done it so many times. But we can even start with that. I don't feel well. Can you measure from 0 to 10, 10 being, oh God, I don't really feel well? Or can you go, I'm going to do my best. It feels like maybe a 5. Whatever it is, you need to use connection and intention that you want to change something in your reality. You've got to allow yourself, give yourself permission, and take the action to be able to do so. So if you can measure and say, I think it's how I know I feel this way, I believe the charge on this feeling is a 10, because it's causing you to look. It's causing you to take your energy field and look. There is an interference pattern that's creating you to feel destructive. And destructive means that it can start to not support you. Okay. Now, I'm waiting for a number. So intentionally, I'm waiting for a number. So we have clear communication. How you know, whatever the number is, then I will give you. She's, yes, I left a toxic relationship a year ago. I'm still learning how to cope. Okay, now this is beautiful. She knows that the not feeling well is connected to something that has happened, and she's aware of it. Now, there's no shame in not knowing how to cope. There's no shame in how long it takes to cope. I'm not shaming or blaming. I'm saying do 5. She's got it. Okay, good. So now we're going to have you decide. I'm going to decide if I want to feel in this way or if I'm ready to change the way I feel. And if she says, yeah, I'm ready to take responsibility, then she just has to copy me for herself and understand the instructions. So what we're going to have you do is that you're going to have to use your hand as a magnet, unless you have a refrigerator magnet, which looks like a business card, really flat magnet, so you can really see both sides, but we can use our hand, okay? And we're going to use it just on the right side at this moment. Okay, and that means we're going to go down to our left or right. We're going to go down to our right, this camera on it a little bit more, down to our right leg. And I want you to locate on your right leg the big toe. Then I want you to notice that there is a bunion or a bone that sticks out. And there's a point that's just up just past the bunion point. You're going to put your hand and you're going to palm, back of the hand, that's 2, palm 3, back of the hand, that's 4. Do that 12 to 24 times, 12 on each side, 24 in total. And then you're going to take and you are going to use finger, thumb, whatever you want to use, but push in. And you deeply press and penetrate and get that energy moving 30 times. And when you've done that, then you let me know. So our bodies are made of electromagnetic energy. And when you have interference patterns, good or bad, and it sets the vibe, it sets the tone. And if this tone and this vibe is vibrating below 500, then it becomes a very destructive pattern. So when waves are coming in simultaneously and are in sync, it can really make you feel good. But if the one wave is coming in and the other one is going in the, I can't do it, opposite direction, they clash and they don't add up. They kind of like minus the energy. Whereas when they come in sync, they add up. So the pattern of the breathing pattern of the energy pattern, what will happen is that when it's in sync, it vibes, it's good vibes, it's positive vibes. But when it's not, it becomes a negative and it clashes and it bumps into and it's not smooth. And this is what happens with your world, is that you will bump into the outside, your external environment. Okay? You can try to be isolated, alone, but you're still going to have to deal with your memories. You're going to have to deal with the things that haunt you, your masks that you put on, the littles that you've had to put away, or the shadows that you've had to create. But in the end, growth of the soul. Now she's done. So the second thing we're going to do is that we are going to, so the part of you, the point you just worked on was, I can't deal with this. I can't. That's what that point was saying. The other point we're going to be talking about is that you're kind of startled about this awareness of the toxic relationship or an awareness of the ending. It's like realism. So how we're going to do is that we're going to do just the right side again, go back to the right leg, and on top of the foot, just before the curve, right in the middle, right there, okay? So on the top of the foot, you don't need to use a magnet, but this time you're going to push in. Now, it's not going to be that easy to push in because there's some bones at the top, but that's okay. Do your best. Do that 30 times. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Nancy. How are you? How are you? I heard the United States had a time change, so I'm an hour early for you guys. And I am back on Facebook to some degree. I don't have my tweeting birds, so they can say I'm doing a violation. It took me a while to understand that they said I was copyrighting my live background, which was the outside of my birds. And I thought, what? And so AI didn't understand. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Okay, I got to get my other board up because I'm not seeing anybody. And it could be that because I'm an hour early. But we're talking about how you can take charge of your life mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You are made of energy. And it begins with you. So if your thoughts are very crappy, you can move energy, you can move parts of your energy to shift your brain, to shift the communication. So your chemical peptides don't have to make you feel bad. Just so I know, the live chat and YouTube. So give me a thumbs up or communicate and let me know you're there. So Jenny, just by doing those two parts, is that charge of those thoughts, because you said you weren't feeling well physically, mentally, is it still a 5? Now, this is important to understand. Some people at different grades, different levels, different phases, you can get over it quickly. Or we have to go down another avenue because the story is there's something else there. So we're looking for layers and connections. So is the charge from the chemical peptides from life experience, is it still a 5? Is it less? Is it more? We got to see what direction you're giving, because it's important that we begin to listen to our soul, our body, every part of ourselves. Okay, so it's a 4. So you have witnessed that it's not as high. It's a 4. Now I'm going to ask Spirit, do you want to keep hanging on to this relationship? No. What is it that makes it so that the number's not going down? I feel deficient. Okay, so it's connected with identity. You've been with this person a long time? Because when we transform from, and it takes up to 2 years usually to really transist. If you have been a part of someone's world for a very long time, they are your identity. Okay. And so if that is the case, then you have to find your identity, your new identity, not the old one that you were with them a year. But it was a big, big, important part of you. Now I'm going to look a little bit further. So what is this for about? And they said it has everything to do with feeling hopeless. So instead of rejection of what had happened, there's a feeling of hopeless. Like maybe I'm not getting, I can't have another relationship, or that relationship is not going to happen, or I don't want another relationship. But with that story of feeling unwell is I feel hopeless. So now you have to look, did the words change? Because that's a chemical peptide, again, all by itself. And if you were to measure the hopelessness, would it be higher or lower or the same number? And can you relate to and resonate with these emotional words? They're real. We are mental, we're emotional beings, and they do affect us. They create charges on us. So I'm waiting for her to respond and see what happens, because the choice then is that do we want to break down the number? She says it's a 6. So see, so now she's got a couple emotions in there. So we're going to directly now look at hopelessness. And so with hopelessness, she's going to focus on with intention with hopelessness. Okay. And we're going to go to, now you're not pregnant or anything, because this point has everything to do with controversy. And some people use it, some people don't. And in the acupuncture community, I choose not to use it. But if you are free and clear of it, then you find your pointer finger and your thumb, come down to where the bone is, slide into the hole. Okay. All right. She said, no. Good. Now, again, this is your choice. Slide into the hole, put your hand, that's 1, flip it over the back of the hand, that's 2, palm, that's 3, do it up to 24 times, 12 on each side. And then you're going to push in and deeply rub and penetrate 30. Okay. And when you're done with that, you go ahead and you let me know. See, so what were we doing? We're communicating, we're looking at how a person, hi Theresa, we're looking at how, Theresa, you have a PIF or gifted, you got a gift, and so somebody gifted you a chat. Just so you know, I'll be giving you your chat. Okay, hi Theresa. Now, it's important to understand I have the knowledge, but I can teach the knowledge, I can pass on the knowledge. How you just finished dinner? Yeah, that hour early does change things. But thank you for showing up, Vicky. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate it. Oh, yes, I've been doing a lot of things this weekend, and me and my husband have really been hitting hard at redesigning our landscape. You couldn't comment. Okay, I see only one person commenting. I was like, where is everybody? Does it say it's live? Yeah, it looks like it's broadcasted out. Okay, so wasn't for sure about that. She's done. Now, if I look at this, I'll say, what else? She's got this real strong feeling that she feels deficient. Like, I can't live without this person. Is that true or not true? Ugh. Okay. Because when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at how this point is the large intestine. And what happens is it feels hopeless, but it's also about territorial control. Because she said in the beginning it was about a toxic environment. So territory is your energy field. And if you've been manipulated, gaslighted, or in any way, it can mentally and emotionally make you feel not trusted. So not true. So, uh, oh crap, what did I say for her to say it's not true? It's not true. So we got to look at how she's feeling. So she can live without this person. But did he cross the territorial line? Did he push? Did he project? Did he how did the toxic relationship cause you to what do you want to call it? Caused you to feel less than love. And when we begin to notice these patterns, we can begin to become more in charge of our world. Okay. Like, for instance, why would she be attracted to this person? Well, there are some similarities that you will find in people that you're like, oh, they're my kind of people, is because you begin to say, who do they remind me of? Why do I like this? Where have I seen this before? And you will go back to when you were younger and who was in your space. Okay. You experienced that kind of closeness and maybe with some toxic aspects along with it, but you will get into certain relationships. So if you were parented very hard and your territory was always being controlled, like you got to watch your sisters or brothers, or you got to do this, you got to do that. And so then you go out into the world and all of a sudden you find somebody in your relationship that's giving barking orders, and yet you're following. You're like, well, what the hell's going on with that? Our programs are creating us to have certain relationships. So that's what I was looking for. So does she want this to go away? And it's like, yes. And I said, okay, what do you want her to do now? And they keep telling me there's a great deficiency. He had turned everyone, oh my goodness, I know that one. So it wasn't even about that. It was right after then, right after. So I'm watching how right now your energy is scattered here, 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 here for the many things that occurred. So this one's a doozy. He had turned everyone against me. That I understand. Now, this is where I'm going to say, all right, the best thing for you is that notice that that was a territorial control. Okay. He had to, that's just the way he does things. He's the good guy, you're the bad guy, and you not sure what you're supposed to do with this. But you got to remember, maybe those people have that same kind of mindset as they do, and you don't. Maybe you're like, okay, hold on. Do I need those family and friends? Or is it just a period? Like, you know how you have a honeymoon period? Well, there can be this after a period. Do these people want to eventually come back into your life, or do they think like them and you don't think like them? So now this is where your chance is to grow. So I'm going to tell you that when you look and you go, see, if you were to measure that statement, which is what I was looking for, he turned everyone against me. What number? How do you know this with a passion? How do you know this? And if it's a 10, then do I have a point for you that I can show you another thing to do to help you change the energy field so that you don't keep losing power. So you don't, that interference pattern of what he has done is created this. And so while you're sitting over here, it's going to wipe you out. And then all of a sudden, the energy you keep losing, we want to change that. Okay. We want to change, that's a 10. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand. And this is important because you're connecting with your energy fields called meridians. Okay. So you're going to take your right hand, and I can't do anything about the backwardsness, but you're going to go to that first position. Now there are 3 fingernails, which is 3 positions, but we're going to go one right under the thumb and right at the bend. Okay. And it's not on the side, it's right there. You're going to place your thumb. Now don't push in deep. Just leave it nice and soft, nice and soft. If anybody else is following along, and you're going to put your finger there, you're going to create the letter C, safety, security, stability, and you're going to take that statement. He had turned everyone against me. Now, your heel of your palms on your forehead to let your fingers drop. So don't have it up here. Don't have it like this. Palm to the forehead, or the heel of the palm to the forehead. And you sit there and don't talk yourself because he's, a bad guy. No, I want you to feel. Your body is saying, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this for you, and it's making us unwell. he turned everyone against me. Okay. I want you to feel that 10. And I want you to, that's all I want you to do is think and feel and allow the words. Because what's happening is that when you start to get it down, all of a sudden these belief systems will start to change. You'll start getting your power back. No matter what they've done, you can change that interference pattern. I worked so hard outside moving and stuff. I hit, banged, and so there's all these bruises. But that's what you do when you use a pickaxe and haul rocks and build things. My husband and I, we just building. Now you do that right now. I'm not going anywhere. Give yourself 15 minutes to hold that spot. Then come back to me and tell me what number it is. Okay? Because your brain, your 41 thoughts are going to keep going over and over and over. When you're holding, it's not rubbing, it's not manipulating, it's you sitting with your charge of a 10. So you're saying that because you're done, that 10 is now a 0, and your mind is not going to wander that he turns everybody against me. You have to understand that the thoughts create an emotion and you feel with your sensory system, and that charge stays there. This helps you break down the charge, break down the chemical peptide, and your thoughts are no longer, oh, he turned everybody against me. Yeah, he turned everybody against me. You know what? I'm moving on. Your body and you change. You're like, you get into the indifference of, oh, that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go and enjoy my life. The best revenge, as people call it, is it one where you live a happy life. And I'm going to get back into my happiness. I'm having an issue here. Little hairs that are like in the wrong spot. But if you understand what I'm saying, you will not be done. You'll be doing it for another art again. But you can be who you want to be and be where you want to be. So I'm going to move on to the story of the day. Actually, no, I am not recording. We've got a lot of new things that are happening. Waiting for the world to change, waiting for a big shift in consciousness and in what we're going to do and how people are going to wake up to learn to empowerment, to healing themselves, to knowing they can do what they need to do. I am put on hiatus as far as I'm not doing my second show, and I am no longer going to be doing drawings for a while. I don't know when I'm going to change that, but I thank everybody that has participated and gave back. You know, people give and receive, gave back. We are going to honor the winners. What's going on here? We are going to honor the winners. So the people that have won is coins. And this is where people gave coins. Okay. And that was Toby. And what do they win? They win a chance to come on the show with me, or they can give it to somebody else, or, you know, because this is about healing, so we can see how things move. So from that, bring a friend and PIFs. This was you bring a friend, your name goes in a drawing, their friend gets minutes of free reading. And then PIFs, people paid in and they got their names in a drawing. So Ayme won the bring a friend and the PIFs. So that is Toby and Ayme has won. Now let's go a little bit further. The reels, and these are the little shorts or reels or whatever we want to call them. Crystal Allen has won this. Okay. The videos, where's my little piece of paper? The videos, the comments of the videos is April Lynn. Okay. And the mentions, when people said at Medicine Woman Reveal, Thor. So we have Toby, Ayme, Thor, Crystal, and April Lynn. And Expedites was April Lynn. Okay. But I'm going to be doing away with Bring a Friend coins and PIFs and mentions. And maybe, I don't know yet, we may end up doing Expedite reels and videos. I have no idea. Things are changing and I have to figure out how to change with them. So, hi, Tina, how are you? And we have to get, if I'm going to continue doing the shows, I got to get the ratings up. I've got to figure out how to get people to join. So if you've never had a reading for, I can give you a reading for free. If you already have, then you just listen to the show. I'm still in Spirit Speaks. And this is all about, are you in charge of your life? Can you heal? Do you know how to heal? Do you feel unwell? Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual? Has life experiences bothered you? Hi, Tina. We're going to usually do a quick one, but tell me what's going on. Do you have something mentally or emotionally that you can't figure out how to process? Or physically, that is there something going on, like a headache? Tell me how I can help address, look, understand, and read. I don't enter anybody's field. It is all here. Now, I want more contacts, so I want you to participate. So she said first time here, so I'm giving her the opportunity to have a communication with me. Anytime I give a reading, it is recorded, and you can watch this recording on YouTube, Medicine Woman Soultion. That's Soultion. My husband of 29 years left me after his accident, and I can't comprehend. Okay, so there she knows that everything has come to her identity because she's had him for 29 years. So big part of her identity has shifted. She says, I can't understand. I said, where do you want her to begin? They said, feeling these emotions and feeling this, did I do something wrong? No, people change and they grow. And sometimes a bitch slap can cause an interference inside of a relationship. So for you, it's like, I can't cope with this because my world as I knew it ended. It's like, I have to move on. Now, there's several ways that if you would like to play along, do you want to physically start to feel better, or do you want more of a reason why? I like to do both because it helps you become more empowered to be you. Okay. So the first thing I tell you is just to follow along with me. Feel that number from, he's left me. I can't comprehend. If it's a 10 or higher or lower, you got to decide. She said, I want to heal and move on. Excellent. That's what we want. That's what we want. I says, is she in alignment with this? Yes. So follow along with me. If you can measure, I will spend more time with you than just a quick read. But I noticed that there's a little bit of an anxiety that causes a hesitation, or it causes gun shyness of stepping into the next part of who you are. And you kind of bonded with him based on with this feeling. Now you have to go solo. And I'm feeling that you don't know how to believe in yourself, have self-esteem, or love yourself. But you do know soulfully, I'm ready to move on. I want to heal and move on. So what number? It could be foreign to you, but it has a charge. How do you know that charge? Is it weak or is it really strong? So getting to know this charge. Okay. So Tina, I'm looking at, did you have to rely on him? Did he put you in the position that you can rely on me? And those are great to have, but it doesn't allow you to have that experience and determination and that ability to feel like you have good self-esteem. I can achieve anything. Okay. All right. So measuring might be a little bit hard because part of you is like, where'd my happiness go? Things have changed. I'm just going to say, you know it's there. And if you can measure that in some form, he was my life and we were very happy. Yeah, and then you said the accident happened. So we don't know exactly what caught. We know there was a bitch slap. We know there was an experience. We know that it altered the way he was. Okay. And it's shocking. And it's what? And once we hear this is where I'm asking Spirit, where would you like her to begin? And they said, well, if she would do so, first of all, and this also goes to Jenny, but I don't know if she's here anymore. You have the way that you think about them, you actually become them. So when you are thinking about a person, you will lose about who you really are. So the first thing you need to do is you have to go, okay, put my hand on my head, I am, and you're going to say your name. So like I'd say, I am Brenda Jean Power, I'm 57. So you want to be in the state that you're in right now. You don't want to be 2 years old. You don't want to be older. You want this one. And if you say in your happiest moment, no, you are evolving. So you do it 3 times. Okay, so the first thing you do is you just put your hand here, put it all the way back, lift off. I am, say your name and your age, lift off, and start to get in your fixed state. Okay, because you're there and you need to be here. And as you begin to do this, it starts to move the energy. Now we can go ahead and change the way your body feels. For you, you're stuck in a dark night of the soul. That's not one night. And so the magnetic field in your body is really super off. And so what we're going to have you do is if you play along, you can take, why my cameras, what's Spirit trying to let me know? Is that you can go to your right leg, okay? You're going to go down to your big toe, and you're going to go past that bump, the bunion point, and right past the bunion point, you're going to put your hand, palm, 1, back of the hand, 2, and you're going to keep doing this 24 times in total. And then you're going to push in and deeply rub, penetrating, sending the energy inward 30 times. So 24 and 30 times. When you're done with that, you let me know. You say you're done. Now I'm trusting you to do your part and that you're doing it well. You got to decide if you want it. You got to decide. So if you're just following along, it's not that hard of a process to follow along. And you're helping the body. Now you're electromagnetic. Now magnetically, you're going to get stuck in one form or, okay. She said she's done. And I said, what else? Now, when you think you've done this, and did you do the rubbing and the magnet and the rubbing on the foot? And so if I'm oh, Jenny, I just realized you did that. You went and did this, right, Jenny? So I'll be right with you, Tina. Hold on. Jenny, did you hold for 15 minutes and you got it down to 0? How do you feel? You did all the work. Can you say the charge is 0? The thought processing, I feel unwell. He said these things about me. Has the words changed? Have the words changed? Okay. And did you hear that last instructions about saying your name and your age? Okay. Because yes. How do you feel? Happy? Do you feel healthier? Do you feel alive again? Do you feel you got to witness this for yourself because you've been feeling unwell? Okay. Now, Tina says she's done. Now, Tina, I'm going to have you do, we're going to help your body because you have been feeling irrelevant for a long time. So I'm going to have you, Tina, take your right hand. Now, Jenny just did this, not the same position, but she just done this. And it has changed the way she feels because she felt unwell. They want you to do, oh, hold on, which one? Okay. Now, you're going to find your right hand. Okay, right hand. Now, I'm going to line up fingernail width is considered 1, 2. So I start at the wrist, under the thumb, and you put your thumb at the second, not the first, but the second. And you're going to put your thumb there soft, not deep, soft. Put your finger in your palm Safety, security, stability. Now it's the heel of the palm that goes to the forehead and let your fingers drop. Now I want you to sit into that feeling of feeling irrelevant. Got to connect with that irrelevant. He's gone. 29 years, he's gone. I want you to feel how you feel irrelevant. And if you have to look up that word, what does that word mean? Because we have to connect with ourselves, find where we're at, and it can make a big difference in your world. Okay. Thank you so much, Victoria, for subscribing. That helps out. Would like to get up to 500. Love to get to 1,000. Eventually, maybe to 1,000,000. All right. So let's look up irrelevant, not connected with or relevant to something. So you were connected with him, but you can be relevant again without him. Okay. So Jenny says, I feel a healer. Yeah, you healed yourself. And it can be that simple. Now, if you're like, okay, but your show's not on, or I'm not watching any of your old shows, and I don't know how to do your healing tools, just sitting here tapping, doing EFT, you can go to my website, get free healing tools. There's about 20 or 30 of them, and it's Medicine Woman Soultion. That's SOULTION.weebly.com. Look for the healing tools and look for EFT. Okay, there's a lot you can do. Brain balancing, all of those things. You are worth it. Now, Tina, how do you feel? Have you done it? Because you are holding this and you're thinking, did you have a number when you started with irrelevant? Did you get and understand what irrelevancy was, Tina? That right wrist, second position, nice and soft. Because if we can witness to ourselves, hold on, I actually feel, or, so really look, good, 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 good. Keep going, keep going. Just want to make sure we got this connection. Keep going. Remember, right wrist, second position, nice and soft. This is important. And sit there with it. I will be right here. Okay. Now, how is everybody else doing? So like I said, we're going to be not doing drawings anymore for a while. I haven't even decided if I'm going to continue. I just know I'm discontinuing mentions and piffs and coins and bring a friend. Now, expedites, reels, and videos, I haven't decided on yet. I just know that we're going to take a break from drawings because it's just not enough people that want it. Because, and as we need to get the numbers up, and I need to be able to do this. Okay, it's super important. It's super important. So now, as I'm looking around, I got to get to the right screen so I can see what's going on. Why is that? At least a few other people. That's good. That's good. Now, there's so much I can talk about, but right now it's important that you know you are in charge of healing yourself. And you can do this. Hello, you can do this. I have to wait for my. Doesn't make you tired. Does it? Why? Because you're yawning or you feel really sleepy? Because you can be exhausted from those chemical peptides. If you're yawning, you're moving energy. And you have been stagnant for so long that maybe getting up and going for a walk or just getting a glass of water can start to balance you. Okay. All right. Now, I have Ayme that paid for a video, so she'll be on. And then I have Lynn that paid for a chat and TP for a chat. So Lynn, are you here? Are you here? I'd like to connect to make sure that you're a part of this. And we'll see where you are. So I'm looking around, looking around. You're sleepy. Have you been sleeping well or haven't you? Okay. Because sometimes you can feel exhausted. Sometimes you can feel very exhausted. All right, I don't see her. I think she might be still on vacation, but Morgan says, wait, are you just able to ask a question or something? Well, right now we're connecting with people that have never had this before, that are learning and understanding that they can do something. Okay. And we want to break this down for beginners. You have sleep apnea. Okay, that's a whole nother story. Does that issue to which she just worked on, is it connected to the sleep apnea? No. Can it contribute to it? Yes. But the sleep apnea is connected to how people have the word contempt. It's connected to these emotions. And for you, it's connected to the emotion of contempt. You feel contempt, you receive contempt, and it is interrupting the patterns. Okay. Here she is. Okay, wonderful. I see you now. Miss April, we're going to let Spirit choose. And we're going to do something a little bit more. Okay. and a little bit more. So I'm looking at her energy field and I said, what meridian is the most vulnerable for her that would throw her into an interference pattern? And they said her large intestine. And I said, so let's say she's having an experience in life and she's like, I'm having an experience in my life and she's not aware of it. This is what she will not be aware of. And maybe she's starting to see because she is a consciousness. But they said territorial issues. It's coming down to how this interference pattern comes in and causes a disrupt. And I said, what exactly the pattern that comes in? And it is when people don't like what you're doing and they want to tell you how to do it. Have you had that experience, Miss Lynn? Have you had that experience? Because I feel like you were around 8 years old and you're telling people and they're like, no, let me tell you. And so territorial issues have a lot to do with, in this case, sitting back, contemplating, thinking you're the problem when in fact you're not. It is your energy field is receiving energy from somebody or something from the outside. And it becomes that they see that you're not using your energy, so they'll use it for you. And I said, what part of you are the not using your energy fully? And they said, it has to do with, I'm going to. And like some people rock the boat, some people don't rock the boat. I'm going to. And you are at a contemplation stage. Yes, I have had that before. Okay. So I'm watching the large intestine, and they said a lot of it has to do with the first words that come into my mind. It's how they use their words to keep you around the home, to keep you in that space, to keep you doing what they want you to do. So this again is more like the pimp and the hoe in the archetypes of getting to have someone do your dream and they don't have to. I'm glad you're feeling better, Jenny. Thank you for letting me help you. Okay. Again, you can watch any recording on YouTube. Make a comment. That'd be great. So as I'm looking here, it says lack of power. So the interference pattern will come in and you will feel the lack of power, your lack of power. So it's like, maybe I don't know how to communicate or I don't know how to. So do you find your mind going into, I don't really want to have this connection or I don't really want to do this? Because I'm feeling that you feel your body feels like it wants to break down. And it doesn't matter how old you are, around 8 years old, there was a breakdown. It's like you were supposed to shut up, be passive. And the body, even though mentally and emotionally you're growing, physically your body is saying, I'm the problem. I'm incompatible. I'm causing them to be upset. So you have an I am in there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this little part of you says that it's also going, I hate when that happens. I hate. Mm, mm. So there's this part of you that it hurts. It hurts. So I said, where do you want her to begin to heal? And they said, well, they would like you to stop believing that you're not mentally or emotionally stable. You are. When a person projects and a person wants to convince you to be something other than what you are, I believe that was the age my parents got divorced. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, energetically, that vibration, yes. I'm looking at how you witnessed how each of them behaved, and I'm watching how you understood the feelings of deficient. And I wonder if you did a declaration that I wouldn't do that to a person. I wouldn't do that to a person. So now I feel like there's a knot in there. I'm not going to do that to a person because I think you felt how someone felt defeated. And you looked at that behavior and you said, I'm not doing that. Okay. Does that make sense? Because what I'm picking up is that they did these things because they were in self-preservation. They didn't want something to change. They didn't want this. I was told that I was too sensitive, a crybaby. They couldn't cope with the energy. And I already know that your energy field is that it's not that you're too sensitive, is that you were born with a gift to understand, to help change humanity, that energy, it hurts. That energy hurts. This isn't, you're like, I can't help but to give that reaction because it comes to me really hard, like as if somebody slapped me physically. Okay. So that energy, when you, in the day-to-day living, when you're at work or at home, I don't know what you do you feel when somebody is hysterical? My mother not feeling good enough energy. Yes and no. So I'm beginning to look at, yes, my body's displaying that I'm not good enough. So that means you're going to be tired. You're not going to be able to do stuff. And every time you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're doing it, your physical body says, I can't, I'm not allowed, I'm not enough, I can't. Just that alone. So you're going to start doing R1-esque. This becomes a territorial issue with yourself because there's a belief system that you can't or you won't. And your body says, no, I've memorized these emotions that people are doing and I can't do it. I don't want to do it. Okay. So it's about territorial issues. Right wrist, first position, soft. Okay. Now, if you are on Facebook, share to groups. This helps. On YouTube, I have no idea. On TikTok, I have no idea. It's not the same kind. So how do you go find these people that you can get the word out? Start with like-minded groups. Start communicating that you can heal yourself. Arwiness, thank you. You're welcome. Now, Theresa P., are you here? Okay. Theresa, are you here? Are you here? So, like I said, that April Lynn, before you go, let me know you're here. Did you hear that you won the video? So you have your name down. See, do I have your name down one or twice? Once for the videos. Yes, for the videos. No, twice, I think. I think you can come, you got two. I believe you got two. I got to double check. I wrote it down on the big thing here. And is Robyn up here? Is Robyn here? Because she still has a pip that she has. Let's see. There it is. Yes, April Lynn, you have two. So we can do this back to back at any point, any time that you would like. Okay. I don't see Theresa P. Thank you so much, Victoria. I appreciate it. Anytime, old videos, any of that, you can share out, so you know. Because there's like, I'm looking at them at this part here. So I got Robyn. April's done, but looking for Robyn. These are two piffs, paid piffs. I don't see Robyn around, nor do I see TP. Okay, we're gonna keep an eye on things. So I'm gonna keep the shows. I'm cutting down the show's time, so I'm not on all the time. And I'm gonna go and get Ayme as soon as I get this here. That's not gonna do it. Oh, there's Theresa. Theresa, I will do yours, and then I'll do Ayme, and then I will. Hopefully, Robyn will be present. I don't know. Okay, so Theresa, anything in particular? Anything physically going on? Anything physically, mentally, emotionally going on that we can work on with you? Just let me know. Okay. I'm just going to jump in. The word duress comes in. They're saying a part of you don't feel safe when people duress. Did I just say when you duress? Did I just say people don't feel safe when you duress? What did you hear that out loud? I heard that. Do you duress? Do you do it when people give you no empathy and so you have to tell them? This is an interesting twist. Does this make sense? Chest mucus, I think it started around when I moved here. That long ago, Theresa? Oh. Okay. Theresa's vulnerability of the meridian that's most vulnerable is the liver. And then that liver is not able to detox properly, which then affects the lung. That part of you has felt the duress of not receiving help, the duress from others. How do people push that agenda? Do they do it directly? No. Okay, so is it indirect, like through the floors? Yes. When you hear certain amount of fighting, when you hear certain amount of stress or duress, what happens is then I see it coming through, and your liver seems to be vulnerable. And then what happens is then that energy duresses you. Then that energy starts to interfere. And so then I see the liver energy affecting the lung. And I'm like, how? Because it's just pure grief. Now, the best way that I think we could do this is that we have to do it where you are seeing the energy come in, hearing it, sensory system, and it reminds you again and again and again of the duress from when you were little, for you to behave or any of that stuff. There was a duress, okay, a duress. And so that first part, you're going to do left wrist, second position, nice and deep. The duress, measure that. It's coming in. Your sensory system goes, oh my God, it's too much. And as you begin to say it's too much, and it pushes and pushes and it's too much, that's the first place you're going to go, because eventually then it settles into the body. And when that settles, that grief of your response going, oh my God, it settles, then it affects your lung. Then you're going to go over to the lung, which is the right wrist, first position deep, and you're going to go, oh my God, I can't take it. It's inside. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, so there's two particular points that is going to help you understand how that energy is flowing. Okay. Now, when I'm looking, when it comes to you hear it, it takes your attention, and it's easily takes your, when my mom died too. Okay. Is it how she died? Surprised? There's more around. Well, let me ask. So she says when mom died too. Yes, rest, the grief. I said, does that have a lot to do? They said, well, it has to do with how when you hear the same stuff as you heard growing up, it puts you in a limitation. So you put yourself in a self-imposed limitation, and then you start to have remorse. So you're going to be in remorse. I shouldn't have done that. Have remorse. So it's a separate one. I'm in remorse. You're going to go right hand, first position, deep. Remorse from saying that, doing that, being that, remorse. And it's huge because in the correction process, oh, good. She says it makes sense. Good. All right. What else for her? Your heart. What about it? How do I use my will to do my heart's desire? They're saying something about timing. Is the timing because of stuff that's coming in? Timing, my timing, their timing. Okay. So when you're aligned with your purpose, you'll have it in the head, the heart, and then to the hand. So in the head, you will have what I want to do and what I'm aligned for. So you have to make sure you get that in your head correctly. Then you're going to put it in your heart. And once it's in the heart, it'll just come to the hand. But so if you can get more of a clear idea, and then you got to feel it, you got to have all those sensory systems so in your head and in your heart, so you have a heart brain coherence, and all of a sudden the motivation will just come. You'll just get her done. You'll do it because those connections. So they're saying that every time you start to have the goal, you start to make yourself feel small. It make you start to dread all the stuff that you have to do, and it makes you feel weak that you got to do it, but you force yourself anyway. So you'll do left wrist, third position, nice and deep. Okay, L3D, because it is having to push. So you have it in your head, not quite in your heart, but the fears and dreads and things like this, and it causes you to take actions. You got to force. You got to. It's like pushing that big rock up the hill. We want to take and say, no, I'm going to break up that rock and stick them in our pockets, or find a unique way of taking it up the hill with less work. Okay. All right. And if Robyn is here, then you have that. Ayme has a couple she has too. So if Toby shows up, then he has Crystal and Thor. And Aprilyn has been already notified. We also have some people that I'm still honoring from the month before, and that would be Linda Love. So well, I'm going to turn to over here real quick. If there's anybody that you want to have a reading or use healing tools to help you get out of a headspace or change the mental aspect or understand something, I will communicate with you, and we can have a free reading and free help. Now I'm going to get the link, and we're going to go over and pick up Ayme, because she is paid to come on today's show. And I think that works. Yeah, there we go. Why is this happening to you? We got to change these interference patterns. We have to change these interference patterns. That is super duper important. Part of waking up is to notice that you're asleep, and it is not about politics or any of that. It's about how do you communicate. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am awesome. And how are you?
I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. So you're okay with the idea that I am not doing drawings for a while. I'm just going to suspend them for a while. You have been the biggest contributor and to for your own, but for us as well, and we appreciate everything you've done and you continue to do.
Part of the evolution of what's going on.
Yes, it is. I just wanted to let you know, thank you, and that we're in agreement with communication. So just so that people understand, yes, the evolution has changed and we have to wait. And I think it's probably going to have to be around January. So there are lots of things you can do while you wait. You don't have to cringe or cry or any of that. You can heal. So you're here not for us to have a communication like this. It is about, you know, you paid, but you also have won. And you work diligently every day on yourself. And it's not that you're looking for the issue. Do you know what I mean? So when I say, are you looking for the issue? You would be thinking what?
No, I'm not. I'm not looking for something to pop up. It just pops up. And as I was sitting here listening to you, I had just because I hadn't eaten because I was live on my own show. And then I went for a walk and I made some soup. And I was sitting here, I'm like, I want some chocolate. I want something sweet. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. Not really.
Right. What did you learn yesterday in our session?
That is the eternal child.
Okay. And the eternal child is an archetype that we all will have to some degree, the child archetype, but there's different variations. So you used to be the abandoned child. Now you're not really the abandoned child. Now you're working on the eternal child. And you are now being able to say, hold on, I recognize that archetype. I can take my pen back from these archetypes. I can choose how to create a heaven on earth. So as we do this, did you when you got those words, how did it resonate? How did it connect? How did it make you flip on the switch?
It was like, okay, and I'm seeing it in TV shows. I'm seeing it in the way people ask me questions on my show. I'm seeing it in how people are communicating with me, and I'm like, holy crap. Wow. It was like a huge light bulb went on.
Okay, so you can see how you're the eternal child or how they are.
How I am and how I have been, but also how they are.
So this is super duper important for you all to understand because the mirror effect is in place so that you can see. Now, did you have to judge yourself, hate yourself, self-loathe yourself? Why didn't you do any of that?
Because I don't need to.
Would you have done it before you did all the healing?
Oh, absolutely.
And how would you know that?
Because it's a program. And
Okay,
how I would have done, how we do anything is how we do everything. And that's how I would have done it in the past.
gotcha. So, are you glad you don't do that anymore, those programs?
I still do them sometimes, but I catch myself faster than ever before.
Excellent. Now, notice that you have this ability to do this and you didn't have it before. So literally you can give this testimony that you have grown and you're not the same person because when you start healing, like, oh, I'm not the same person and you're like I'm better. And then when you 6 months you're like, ah, crap. And you're like, I've grown, but I haven't grown. Now you're really seeing that you've grown because now you're not doing certain programs anymore. You understand how you did them.
Now I'm to understand how I did them so that I can help others wake up to them.
Right. And you can also say, this is a choice. I can do that or I don't need to. You don't have to be pulled by the charge to be forced to do that.
Mhm.
You can, it feels freeing when you are not controlled with those chemical peptides. Can you understand that last statement?
Yeah, when you're not controlled by the shit that's inside of you, you've really grown, you've changed, and for the better.
Okay. Now, part of healing is to use awareness. And so I said we have to put those golden white lights in place to continue with the healing later. But right now, you had to investigate what the eternal child is. And one of the things is, did you notice how the eternal child self-soothed?
Yeah, with sweets, with candy, and I all day it's like it was like I wanted Reese's peanut butter cups. I wanted chocolate. I wanted that sweet.
All
And
right. So now we're going to ask, why is it that you want that? And it is in the brain, it's marked in the brain, but that's how I took care of. I self-soothed when I felt invading energies. And I said, what kind of invading energies are you feeling? That I can't behave. And I said, can't behave or can't behave the way I want? I can't behave the way I want. Do you understand how you really want to behave? No. So where is it I can't behave the way I want? What age are you trying to keep replicating? And they're saying okay, they go 8 and 5 and 2. 8, 5, and 2. I said, what ways were you doing this? And they said it was I was happy. It was my happiest. And I can't have happiness because I'm always parented or controlled or get told who to be. And so during the happiness, I could be me. And that was mine. Nobody can take that. It's mine. And so for you, you have to heal out how that's going to sound strange, but you made a little spot of joy right here. Oh, thank you. But the problem is that you can't grow beyond joy in that spot. You put all the love in that spot. You're not going to want to extend this love out. It's mine. It's mine. Do you understand? So they're saying they want you to do L1D because that's when you can be the most confident is when you're stuffing chocolate in your mouth. And that you don't feel it's a crutch. So then candy becomes a crutch. Okay. Now in her adult world, she's like, no, I can do all these things. But we're talking about old programs. Old programs. Do you understand? When the old programs and you're not aware of them, and if these old programs are connected to love and joy, you're not going to think about wanting to heal out love and joy. She's not healing it out so she goes into misery. We're healing out the charge that's connected to that energy field that says I can't exist unless I have that. So what is the energy, the love connected to? Loftiness. It's connected to loftiness. And in order to get that joy, she has to keep calling into her field lofty energy, whether it is from a person or taxes are due or the lawn needs to be mowed, stress of life, or looking at life as stress. So she's like, I have to reward myself. So there is this before she can reward herself.
I keep hearing the boys get to do it.
Okay. And when you weren't allowed to do it, when you weren't allowed to behave the way the boy did, because it sounds like strict rules, there's a part of you that made it a habit that you had to self lick your wounds so that because nobody was really going to help you, but you could feel that you were told. How would you have been parented to make you
You can't do that. Girls can't do that.
okay? So I'm going to give you the scenario, and you tell me if anything relates to it. Ready? So if you have a mare and a stag or stallion and you have them and they make a colt. So these horses make a baby and the baby is treated like a little child. And if the little colt is doing something it shouldn't be doing, then what will happen? Okay. Is that it would nip it and then like, don't do that. Don't do that. And if the little colt doesn't do what it's supposed to do, what happens is that the horses, the mommy and the daddy, literally will shun them from the community. You can't be in this space, you can't be in this community, and it'll shun it. And it is an extreme reality that if you pull away the love or you shun them, they can't be there, then that cult will straighten right up and give them parents what they want. Has this ever happened to you? Huh?
Yeah.
So we're using the word shunned. Have you ever felt shunned?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully my volume's up loud enough. I think it is, but just in case, I'm going to turn it just a little bit there. Okay. So shunned, you're shunned. Does anything pop up? Anything resonate coming up?
That my brothers got to do things that I didn't get to do. And
Okay.
when the pastor.
Okay. So if I'm looking for the word that she's looking for when she feels like I can't do what they get to do, and it's all about what about me and all this, but what I'm hearing is that there is a contempt. So when you attempted to do what the boys were doing, how did you know you couldn't do it? What was given to you?
A look, a tone.
Okay, now we're somewhere. And what are we looking for? We're looking for that tone. And the look has a tone. It doesn't even have to be sound. What would the look? Like my mother always had a look. Looks good pills. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. The brown eyes of my mother. Yeah.
Okay.
If looks
Take your
could
hand
kill, I would
down.
definitely not be here.
So take your hand down, and I want you to just think about her look. And I want you to just, as you do so, I want you to feel the body. I want you to feel the body. When you feel the
And my heart wants to quiver. I wanted to just shake.
okay. So notice that the internal organs, I lost my little piece of paper. Gracious. So you can tell the interperception with the organs is that my heart wants to quiver or shake. So now we're going to put one hand over that, and you're going to kind of measure how bad that quake is. 10 being worst, the quake.
An 8.
Okay. Now you're going to choose which eye.
I heard right.
Okay. So now as you're looking out through that and feeling that, what number do you see?
10.
10. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to start to remove, transcend, and let it go. And what happens is I want you to first, when you take your hand off, notice that the emotion is going with the hand real quick. Okay. So everything that was inside is going to come outside. And now when you look at that eye, remove, transcend, let go, swap eyes. Now it's not just going to be this eye. I want you to put it on the ear. Put it on that other ear. Okay. Now listen through the eye and the ear. It's going to sound strange, but you've got them stuck together. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to.
I'm hearing 14.
Okay, so we're going to remove, transcend, let go. Now take what was in your hand and imagine that you're swiping it off inside the treasure chest. Okay, and you're putting all of that energy there. And now you're going to go back in and find out what's left in there. If it's still a high number, lower, has it changed?
4.
4. So it's a lower charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now as you do this, I want you to remove, transcend, let go. Now put your hand back on that eye real quick. Okay, now you're looking through that eye. What number is it?
3.
It has come down. Awesome. Now feel the tone of the look. Feel the tone of the look. This is where you're going to notice that there it is.
An 8.
8. Did it come at you how? Like water gun, a butcher knife, laser beam? What did it come at you as?
it just like almost like a Mack truck. It came really
Okay.
fast, very hard.
Okay, fast and hard. And it cut you to the quick. So now we're going to remove transcend, let go, and you're going to swap over to the ear, okay? And at this point, I want you to just kind of only focus on the ear. Don't think of the eye. Now hear the tone. Is the tone the same or different?
Different.
Okay, good. It's starting to separate. Move, transcend, let go. Now, I want you to swap hands on chest. Now I want you to cover up this ear. Hear the tone.
4.
4. Okay, we're going to remove, transcend, let go. Now, keep your hand there, and you're going to put your cover up the opposite eye. Very good. Now, look here, look at the eyes and look at the tone.
3.
Remove, transcend, let go. Swap just the eye. Look at the tone of the, when you're seeing the tone, you're seeing the tone.
2.
Now, good. So that means that the Mack truck is not as fast and it's hard. Is it slowing down?
Mm-hmm.
Remove, transcend, let go. Now you're going to take a swap hands. You're over here. What number you have?
I'm hearing 3.
All right. Now we just remove, transcend, let go. Now, what's in your heart? How's the organ doing? Sorry about that. I can feel your energy trying to move on the inside, but it's not really moving. 3. Okay, so you don't know what this is. You okay? You okay? No. Okay. They want you to just go ahead and hold R2D. 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 Got it? You just sit there. R2D. And we know the number's high. Just give me a thumbs up if it is. Okay, so, all right. We're going to give her a couple minutes. I'm going to, because this is a doozy, I'm going to see if I can stop the video. There you go. I'm going to give her some privacy for a moment. Normally we would keep her on, but this one is like hitting her, like she said, a Mack truck. Now, let me explain a little bit. You're made of energy, okay? So you can tell when somebody's giving you love. Like, hello, everybody. We have Rhonda, April, Theresa. Who else do we got? We have, I can't see on the other screens. I can't see. Okay, that's good enough. Judy. Okay, so, it's hello. You can feel the greeting. You can tell if it's real or you can tell if it's fake. Oh, hello. You can feel, right? How do you know this? Because it's the energies of it. Now, have you ever been anybody mad? Now, here's where it gets confusing for children. So if you're getting screamed at, you know it's directed at you. But if that energy has traumatized you, made you scared, any of this, and so somebody in your adult world, whether you're at work or wherever you're at, and you feel this person exploding, and if they needed somebody to talk to, there's a part of you that's going to go, oh my God, I don't want to talk to them, because you're going to receive the same energy as you did as a kid. Even if it's not directed at you, you're going to have that interference pattern hit you. Hi. Hi, Laura. And so what does this mean? It means that the program has just been tipped, and now you're going to go into certain emotions and certain programs and that you can't stop. Well, I want you to learn how to wake up and be at home. I want you to wake up and be in charge. I want you to have your own belief systems, not borrowed. I don't want you to have to believe somebody's fears and the way that they gaslight, or how they because part of the 3D energy is when some people air grievances to try to control things, to use guilt and shame, to point fingers and make everybody follow you as a minion, to gaslight, to believe your story, because you have your stories. There's a lot of people that will just lie to themselves about what they don't like, and they believe it to be truth, and then tell other people and can convince them. And that's part of the 3D is leaving. So now in the 5D. So you have to decide how you want to do relationships. And a lot of times, in order to do a relationship that is being healthy, you have to heal out how you used to do social skills, how you used to relate, how you used to relate. Laura, have I ever given you a reading before? We're waiting for giving somebody some space right now so they can work on something deep. And when they're done, they'll turn the video back on. But it keeps saying that it's got a slow connection, so I don't know what kind of delay we have going on there. A big one, a big one. I'm thinking of not doing live shows anymore. I don't know how important they are to a lot of people. Those that do know it's important, I'm happy. I'm glad that we are able to have tribal, and I can make sure I honor you. But I was thinking about doing just small, time, videos. I'm not sure how or MWS is going, the show. It could be a different type of show. It depends on how the evolution of the world goes. But I was thinking about doing like 10 to 15-minute segments on YouTube. So if you've ever had a reading or like the show or any of that, come on over to YouTube and hit subscribe, and that would be great. Okay. When our tears come to our eyes, we will have a tendency to know our heart has been hurt. And the heart is reading these energy fields. And we're made of energy. So if I said, when I was communicating with Ayme and what was the emotion was going on, I felt her remorse of, like, I shouldn't have acted that way. I shouldn't have looked that way. I shouldn't have. So if Ayme hears me, she can switch over to R1D and start noticing that she's got to quickly overcompensate, because that's what she knew how to self-soothe the person that was exploding, that was upset, that was parenting, that was correcting her. Yeah. All right. What do we got going on? So, did Morgan disappear? Not sure. Yeah. Yeah, things are totally changing here. Hi. Hey, Morgan, why don't you talk to me while we wait? Chat with me. Chat with me.
To open up the Zoom
Yeah,
chat.
I did. I did. Oh, so my relationship doesn't seem to be going too well already, since it's online and long distance. Are they asking more of you, or are you asking more of them? Because long distance, in you have to look at how if you both want it, you both can make it work. Are they asking for something that you can't give? We can't really do too much. They have a PC and I don't, so I don't know what we can do. Oh, so can you Zoom? Um can you FaceTime? And are you upset with that, or are they upset with that? We could, but I don't talk much. Okay. And so their need, their communication of what love is that they need that communication, they need that connection. And you're saying that you don't know how to develop that, or you don't You see what I'm saying? You are developing a skill. And are you willing to develop a skill, Morgan? And you're like, but I don't talk that much. And so I asked Spirit, what could she do? Morgan, I would put R1S, right wrist, first position soft, and go, I don't like to talk, or I don't like to talk much. I want you to examine how you don't want to do it, or I don't like it. Not really sure I should be doing online dating, but I kind of like them. Well, you're asked to develop and evolve your soul. That is part of how you get back to creating a heaven on earth and happiness and joy. So if you're not comfortable with having safety, security, stability, sanity, discerning space, your freedom to in this relationship, then don't do it. But if you are doing it because of fear, this is an opportunity to heal. Okay. So anyway, so let's take and look at, should you be dating? So you're the type of person that questions yourself. We know that you want to grow. Do you still want to grow? That means you're gonna have to look at the challenges at life and how they show up. Okay. So should you do the online dating? It says have patience with self and others. So don't judge it so quickly. Don't come to conclusions as something wrong. Make an effort to show them that they're worth it. Okay. Make the effort. So have patience. Don't judge it. If they're asking for more FaceTime and you can't do it, then you can start doing a little R1S. Okay. Now, again, if Ayme is ready, she can come back anytime. And if not, we will be done with that part of the show.
You gotta start my video.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, because you turned it off, so you gotta turn it back on.
No, I just have to ask.
There.
There you go. Okay. So energy came in,
Mm-hmm.
and as energy came in, it came in through the large intestine and it spiraled you in the second chakra relationship issue. And then what happened was that you could feel that you needed to run. And I said, why did you feel like you had to run? And it went into that I had to go into a self-imposed limitation. I had to blame myself. I had a little sadness and had a little remorse. That last part, does it feel familiar or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're worried about something, about the situation. Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the word I want. When the energy came in, did you feel it being lofty?
Yeah.
Did you little assume that it was your fault?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so that's why the R1S. So hold on to R1S. Okay, so oh, hi. Hi, Robyn. Oh, you got a chat. You got a free chat from last time. Just let me know if you want me to give the reading, and I will do it. And you tell me what subject you want to talk about. So just finishing up with Ayme. And Morgan says, thanks. They said they wanted to start taking it slow again because I probably rushed it. Okay. And so notice, Morgan, you jump to conclusion. All right. So when you're thinking, oh, they want me to slow down, were you asking for FaceTime, or what were you asking for that made them slow it down? Because there was one particular habit that maybe, Robyn says, hi, Ayme, that maybe they're like, whoa, it's too fast. So what have you been doing that are you texting them all the time? You're not giving breathing room? But be patient. You're developing, and sometimes you need to give space. I never really asked, or I never asked really. Apparently, asking too many questions is an issue, and we can't really play. Asking, is that your beliefs, or apparently asking, okay, anything. Oh, so they love the bonding of the game playing you're doing. Oh, we can't really play any games or anything. Mm. Well, maybe, maybe you're not a good fit at this point, or you would like them, but they don't like you as much. Because if a person likes you, they're going to figure out a way. You will resolve a way. So, are you aligned with this person to get to be what you want it to be? This is have faith in yourself. And the next thing would be we're connected on many layers. So you are connecting with them on a certain level, but maybe they can't give you what that you were asking for. Okay. All right. Just discover who you are. These are some of the games. There are some games you can play, and me and my mom are working on a new job. Good. Start focusing on things that you love. Get in heart, or get it in your head, get it into your heart, and get it into your hand. So you got to begin to love, but don't push somebody to do your agenda. But you'll get there. You're developing into something. All right, now your mother's energy was super strong.
Mm-hmm.
And we already looked at the tone and things like this, and I've already used up one of your free ones, and so I'm going into the other one real quick. Apparently, that's what we're doing. So what I want you to notice is when the energy came, and no matter how it came, did you read it as if it was super real? You were so super focused. You were so involved, like when you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, no, don't go in there. And all of a sudden they go in there and you just panic even further. You made it more real.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. So feel how your child part of you has not know how to separate when somebody, so you're too involved. You have to learn to separate these energy fields so that you can be you and they can be them. It's like when I'm watching a movie and I get too involved, my husband says, look, honey, the child's still alive and now they're 34 and their next movie is this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. I don't have to make more of it. Notice how you made more of it. Was there a lot of jumping of conclusions, running around with scissors, going to the end of the timeline? I don't
Yep.
know what.
All of that.
Okay, so now it is about that self-imposed limitation. As soon as you felt it, you're supposed to limit yourself and you're supposed to yearn for the loss. Did you feel like there was a loss?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold R1D. R1D. And remember when I told you the cult story about how the cult, when they nip, it's like, no, don't. But when they go too far, they shun them out of the community, and the cult doesn't know what to do when it's like the same thing is as if somebody pulls their love away from you. Now, some people will not mean to pull their love away. It's just sometimes the love, their energy just comes sucking in because whatever's going on, okay, will cause you to, and it can feel like separation, uh, rejection, and you're going to have this yearning. And there's going to part of you that's going to go into remorse. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to start separating. Remember how we said the eye and ear, they're two connected? We need to separate them. This is that other part of the separation. All right, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so the point you're doing, what do I have you doing? R1D?
R1D.
So we're believing the grief, We're believing that we have to yearn. We're believing that I can't behave the way I want. I caused it. The way their response was and the way they're feeling. Did your mother often feel, um, okay, when I was a mother, I felt exhausted all the time. I felt tired. I felt stressed. I felt insane. I felt too much to do. I felt my mom, it was always thrown on me to do all of these things because it was, you're the woman, you're the wife, you're the mother. And it was like, wait a minute. I thought this was a together thing. And so I would just feel everything. Okay.
I think she did. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is that okay, all of these are happening. All of these are happening. And I feel like maybe your mom and your dad didn't work together, even though they gave the idea that they were working together.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. And so you felt remorse for them to feel that way, as if you felt like it was you caused it.
Mhm.
And so sometimes when people are expressing, other people will be expressing that is not family, you go to the corner store and they express it, you may just go right into an old program. And but it is because the way that the energy is there.
Yeah, that
How
makes
it
a whole lot of sense.
So how it gets presented, other people are like, nah, you, because you were so exposed, it came at you as a Mack truck. Do you understand? And it's the same for those eyes, the tone. All right.
That makes a lot of sense. When I went for a walk tonight, I like had an iridescent bubble go in front of me to like sweep the energy away so I wouldn't pick anything up.
Good, good, good,
Really interesting.
good. Now, your vulnerable energy, your meridian that's the most vulnerable is your large intestine, because the energy will come in. You got to keep them around the homestead, meaning you got to play with the same rules that you learned with mom and dad. And this is not the same when they're not here anymore. So that part of your identity has to change. And if you don't know that that's happening, it's like, how are you supposed to know it's happening? So you're going to feel like that little child. So when I looked and I said, what child part have you? Here's my piece of paper that I had the note on. Made it disappear. Good job, Brent. Wow, I really made that disappear. Kind of the one I use every day. I need that book. I probably could have it in the other room. But I was going to ask, is this part of the archetype of the child? Yes. So you're getting to experience this particular archetype that feels this is part of the eternal child. Yes. Just like, oh, I want chocolate. Oh, I want to feel bad because I did something wrong, because I'm reading that response. Even though it's not the response you see, it is
Right.
what the body's doing. So did you often get blamed for like mom or dad feeling a certain way, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so see how easy it is that your identity is that you're like, but that I don't want that to be me anymore. Oh, I have it. I am on the wrong side. I had the paper.
Oops.
So the proprioception is the movement. So when you were just sitting there, energy as you were experienced, the interference patterns, good, bad. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you were at this space, they were at this space, but when they came in, they weren't, so they clashed. So if this energy field, this vibe is low, this vibe is high, or this vibe is low, misery loves company. But if you're not in the same wavelength, you're not going to be in sync. And so what happens is that when this person's energy come in, like whatever, this way, and you're this way, it's going to clash and cancel each other out. You took offense to that as a kid because that is what you learned in the first 7 years of your life. So for you, the proprioception, the movement, where's my head? Oh my God, I've seen this so much before. You spun. Your brain did not know where your arms and legs were when your parents would display the way the Mac track came in. Now, when that Mac track comes in, your scalar field, the relationship said, I'm supposed to be, I have to live their way.
Mhm.
When the energy came in, you're like, I have to live that way. You have no choice. You have to put yourself in all that same program again and again and again and again. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. I hope I don't screw this up. No, yes, don't screw it up, Brenda. Oh, do it again. Jesus. Oh, what are we gonna do with me? Love me? Squeeze me?
Love you, squeeze you.
Take care of me.
Oh, you did.
All right. Oh, I can't do this. I need to. I did. Okay. I will lose the way. All right. How you feel?
I feel like me,
What did you learn?
that I don't
Was
have to do my own bullshit.
Notice how easy it was for the energy of emotions, energy, a wave, an interference pattern forced you to believe an old belief system.
Yeah, and it's very subtle. It's very, it just boom.
Yeah, very
It,
fast.
it just it comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're in a tailspin. And had I not had tools and been here, I would have gone spiraling.
Yes. To the point where it probably physically made you sick.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are we learning? We're learning that emotions, experiences, and energies are real. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not real.
No, they're real.
And we have memorized them. That's why she went there so fast, is because she's exposed to it, exposed to it, exposed to it, exposed to it. Practice, 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 here again and again and again, that she doesn't remember how she got there. So when it came at her, it had hit her just like, here's the button. And you're like, whoop.
Yeah. And
Bad. It just means that the emotions are real and you don't know how to deal with that.
no, when you were talking about the spinning,
Mm-hmm.
I remember being a kid sitting at the dining table while we sat at the counter. But dad would say something and I would start spinning. I would have to literally put my hands down on the table
Okay.
and just stare straight ahead to get it to stop.
All right. So now this has a lot to do with your proprioception I told you about, the movement. And then remember in the beginning, it was how the eye and the ear heard the tone. Now you'd think ears are the only one that heard the tone. Now, if you were to do a test, and I can't remember what the name of the test is, but if you were to stand on one leg with your eyes closed, how many seconds can you do it? Now, this is to check the internal gyroscope of where your consciousness, where are my arms and my limbs? Am I safe? So this is a proprioception test. And if you're off balance, okay, your eyes, you need your eyes to see, but you should be able to have your internal eyes on so that you can feel safe. You said, when I see the tone, not necessarily hear the tone, I feel the tone. You said your heart, the internal interception, I'm saying it completely wrong. Anyways, these sensory systems, the interoceptive internal, is your heart and your brain we're like, oh, this is all it is. So it puts you in a tailspin. Now, hopefully, you're starting to unwind how you've learned this.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we used two of those free drawing things up, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here and help me. I do not know how the show's going to go or if the show's going to go. It could come back completely different. I have no idea anything at this point. So I pray I don't go anywhere, but I don't feel I'm needed as much. And not from you guys, but from the world itself. And so it's like, where do I fit? How do I fit? Where do I belong? It made sense 4.5, 5 years ago. And I feel
And now we're waiting for more people to wake up and
right. So I may have to take a hiatus, but I know I'll come back in some form. I just have no clue what it is. So again, I want to thank you for everything you've done. Will I do a show next week? I'm assuming I am until I get higher orders about things. But anyway, thank you. I love you.
love you
And
too.
I appreciate everything you do. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye. All righty. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this so far. Robyn, do you like your reading now? And that was a gift from I hope I can say it. Yeah, I think I can. From Ayme. If not, oops, cat's out of the bag. Anything you want to work on, hun? Do you want to balance anything? Oh, no, I'll look right now. So Morgan says I sent some comments. So yeah, screen's so small. And I appreciate all the like buttons and the giggles, Robyn. Appreciate that. It's like part of me is trying to cry, but I don't know why I'm wanting to. Oh, sometimes you have to feel that I want to cry as the emotion. I want to. But is it true I need to? Or are you supposed to stifle it because I'm not allowed to cry? And you'll decide to do it when it's time. And not every, you don't have to cry every time when you're working on something. But it's the body and all parts of you. Personal timeline shift. Oh, kind of like where I'm at right now. Okay, so let's see what spirit will help me help you. Okay. All right, spirit. All right, you got two dragons. Interesting. Hold on. My belief system is that you have four dragons that have to do with the north, south, and east and west. I feel like you got two dragons in the on the south side. I don't know if they're transitioning to a higher frequency, as if the old dragon needs to change. So it goes into like an upgrading of technology or upgrading of like the old one is, it's not that it's obsolete, but you've been changing the frequency. So since you're changing the frequency, the old one can't give you everything it needs. The new one's coming in. So I feel like there's a shifting of the guards on the south side, if that makes sense. Which means I feel like you're going to have to do something about one of your grids. So you're either going to have to add a crystal or you're going to have to shift a crystal or clear a crystal. There's something there. I'm not sure what that is about. Hopefully that information helps and I don't make you lost. Now, so what she said, the personal timeline shift is that there's a part of you, the old 3D feels awkward of listening to the old programmings. And the new part of you is like, yeah, but we don't need to play that. We don't have to stay in the fear. We don't have to play in that fear. We don't have to do those fears. And then the old part of you is like, well, I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel, and these are old programs. And I said, what age? My 4-year-old self always felt deficient. So you're something unique about 4 years old. What I feel is that there's a phobia that's one or more of the sensory systems changing on this phobia, so that once it releases that lie, the fear off of it, there'll be a part of you that'll have this soul growth that you're like, why did I put so much investment in that? It really doesn't matter. That was a limitation. And I was supposed to think and feel that way, but I don't anymore. So your little is saying, but I don't know how to let that go because, so let's find out what sensory systems are talking about that's changing in, for the better in you. Okay. Auditory digital. So you hear gestures. An old program will say that gesture means this, when if your program wasn't in charge, that gesture would say, oh, I know what that is. And your spirit will go, okay. But so the opportunity is saying that I hear gestures, and when I hear them, I have an auto reaction inside of me that discourages me, and then I it's in that discouragement. I said, you want to heal the discouragement? Oh, it feels like you should, but it says no. Okay, so it's a but do you being discouraged? So they said the program is to feel discouraged. Now, this I said, is it more of a strategy? They go, it has to do with how the external. So you have to look towards your youth. That has to do with, I saw that, I heard that, and they had secrets, they had that negativity, and you had this space, and you had that space, and you're supposed to think this way and feel this way, and because you were parental over you at the time, because you have to, you're a kid. It was like, this is way or the highway. And so did you always feel alone? Did you always feel alone? Because these, which one? Oh, hold on. They want me to have you begin to look at the archetype of an innocent child. So you're looking at the innocent child that has to go through the prostitute, saboteur, and the victim. And the innocent is, yeah, you have to explore this. You have to explore, like, what does it mean? Archetypes. Don't think I have my cards with me, but I will look. Oops. When you don't put things away and you just shove them, yeah. My husband would just have like, what did you do, woman? Oh, those are not the right cards. Oh, I know. Ayme, can you open up your book, Child Innocent, and send me a picture or something? Oh, no. Ah, no. Oh, yes. Yes, never mind. I think I got it. I just couldn't see it. Oops. God. Oh, all righty. Oh, good Lord. I can't even see the little tiny writing. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay, a lot of obstacles. A lot of obstacles. All right, let's try this again. Oh, wow. Interesting. There's an energy of fire flames. Okay, hold on here. I'm looking at the child, innocent child. Let's look at this. Child, not that one, not that one. So how in the world? Because you only got really, okay, so divine child is innocent child as well. So yeah, it's closely related to, the divine child is closely related to the magical innocent child. So I'm going to read those both, okay? And what does this mean? It's associated with innocence, purity, and redemption, godlike qualities. Okay. And one of these is your dominant. So in this case, what's coming to the surface is your innocent. And so this is as you heal the 3D version of the innocent child, then it can help build it so you can be closer with your divine child, which is closer to the union with God. But the shadow divine child is the inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And it's not even about evil forces. It's about other people's opinions or the gestures. We were talking about gestures. And so if your child is seeing the gestures as harsh, you're not going to be able to defend yourself. So if I said, I don't feel like I can defend myself, this is where I would have you do L2S. L2S, left wrist, second position, soft, okay? Now, I said I was going to read the magical child too. The magical child is the innocent, where it says sees potential for sacred beauty in all things. That makes sense. Is gifted with imagination and belief that everything's possible. Yeah, again, makes sense. Now, the shadow aspect is that the lack of faith in miracles and transformation. And I said, they said in one area, which I think is what we just covered. But there's something about lack attitude of pessimism and depression. So have you ever had depression, or are you still doing it, or do you still see, I don't think you're pessimism, so do you see the rings out? Anybody pessimism around you? So we're looking at a deeper echo here. As a belief that energy and action are not required, allowing one to retreat into fantasy. So this is kind of like what I was working with her. The archetype of the child at the end of this evolution is how we it's like the same thing. So Ayme said that she discovered her eternal child, and she's been seeing it everywhere, whether it's in herself, others, TVs, whatever. And it's, you're like, she wants chocolate. She's like, oh, that's my eternal child. That's not actually me. There was another one she just did today, and she goes, oh, wait a minute, that's my. And what happens is I had to have her heal the love, the joy, the it's mine, all that. I don't want to share. It's like all that joy. It's like you're not allowed to have it with other people, so you have this. And so when you carved yourself out, you put a lot of love there, and you're healing all this. This love now needs to expand. So that means you have to take the love that you have into this, and you have to focus on the love so that it can allow the growth to appear. So in this case, it would be R1D, because it's like I'm supposed to have, they want me to have remorse. No. So I'm over here licking my wounds and doing what I need to do. And it makes me happy and joyful because I can't be me over here. I'm supposed to dump me and attach myself to them. But over here, I don't have to. And so we really want to keep that protected. But in order for us to grow, you have to remember you have an aura that goes down vertically and you have it going horizontally. And each one of these key points at the chakras, as well as every time you have an intersection at the chakras with the aura, vertical and horizontal, are like little heart locks. And you got to unlock it so that you can see the different parameters and get the perspectives, where all of a sudden you get this rush of, oh, I now understand why I wrote my contract for this shit to happen, and now I understand why. And so then there's like a big epiphany will come over you, and none of that else would matter. Yeah, for some reason, there's something particular that happened around 4. They're telling me it has something to do with being stifled. It's like your voice doesn't matter. They're going to just leave you out of the equation. Oh, is it about leaving? The deficiency, there must be something wrong because people, oh, good, it makes sense. Okay, so again, there's that, I feel like people controlled you to keep you around the homestead so they could be nice, they could be mean, they could be all these things. But now you're looking at this and saying, wait a minute, the new evolution coming in, I need to look at this, the child part of me, that archetype of the child, and I need to grow. Now, let me see what else I can come up with. It says, that's not what I want. Hold on. Look for patterns of transcendence over apparently negative circumstances from early in life. Look, oh, we're already doing that. Okay. Anything else I need to? Now, according to Carolyn Mace that did this, she says, choose carefully because you can have only one child archetype in your support team. And I'm not sure exactly what she means by support team. I just know that when you're transforming these archetypes, you have history of all of them, and you may have a dominant when you're more stressed versus not stressed. And it's like you're supposed to have an overall. It's like when you look at astrology, shadow and positive, you're supposed to get back to unity. So I don't have enough information to understand what she means by that. I just know that from my point of view, you're meant to integrate and become more whole, if that makes sense. Well, that was fun. Again, things are changing. I don't know what is going to come of this. Don't know if I will continue to do the show. I don't know what will happen. I feel like just waiting for the world to change. It's so bizarre. I will do my best to be here next Monday, unless something comes up, and I'll let you know. Maybe things will be all right with the world. But anyways, you can re-listen to your readings and whatever. Just go over to YouTube. Remember to like. A lot of people don't realize they don't like it. A lot of people don't realize they don't subscribe or hit the all button to get notified. This all helps. So, all right. Like I said, I'm doing away with a lot of the drawings right now because times are changing. We have to anticipate and move with the times, not anticipate with fear, but moving with the changing of the times. Okay, I think that I'm supposed to be done talking. Love you too. Love you too. Because I'm starting to stutter. Spirit wanted me to have not of a long show, and yet I have had a long show. Patience. Patience is a virtue. I know. I just wish I could give you a more concrete answer, but I don't even know. I just know I'm going with the flow. I have faith, and I know it's gonna be better than this or better. Crystal one, she's not on, or she on YouTube or not on YouTube? Is she here? Why didn't it show up? Crystal, you're here. Hi, honey. You won, babe. Did you want to come on? I think it was for the reels or the videos. Reels. So did you want to come on? Aw, she says we need your show. Well, I appreciate, and it's nice. It's nice that and it's it's a small handful, but you guys are so worth it. But at the same time, it also has to do with where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know about the reels. I'm really only on Facebook. Okay. And shorts are what they're called on YouTube. Yeah, see if you hit notify, subscribe and hit notify, then you can you will be told when I posted something. At least that's, I think, how it works. I don't know. I'm still learning all of this. I'm still doing that part of my 365 as far as learning about all these things. Yeah, Facebook has reels. Sometimes I put them up, sometimes I don't. But Facebook, it's been ever since they had that big changeover where it's pretty much AI. No problem. We can do it next week, okay? No problem, honey. No problem. Yeah, it's supposed to work that way. Yeah. I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the flow. And it's interesting when you begin to honor each person. And as you begin to honor each person, it's like it's so different being in a spiritual mindset versus the old 3D. I feel like it's like I want to write my books, I want to do this, but I'm still at that hesitation, not because I'm lazy or any of that. It's like I have to wait. But I had a good title came up today and was like, what? You're letting me think about this again? Let me see if I can find where I put the title. Something about oh, I lost it. Something about something for beginners or newbies. Energy is very interesting. Staying in flow is most important. Yes. Yes, because you wanna be able to surf safely through all of this these constructive patterns. So interference patterns, whether they be constructive or destructive, you can be in more of a heart brain love relationship with yourself as you start to flow through. So if even if something comes hitting you like a curveball, it's gonna miss you. All divine, yes, grace and ease. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. All right. Thank you for being here. I love your devotion. I love you very much. And I wouldn't have this show if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate you very much. And I think that we're at the end of the show. And we will see you next week. Tomorrow's tribal for those that are in tribal. And I am looking forward to diving deep in. I think I kind of have an idea of where they want to go, which is really good. But who knows? It all change in an instant. So I'm going to stay with the flow. I'm not going to make a commitment um, because promises can be broken, but it's really in the flow. So yes, hashtag thank you, spirit. Hashtag resolve to evolve. Hashtag you can heal this. Oh, and I'm just getting ready to go. Regina Redmond, have I ever gave you a reading before? And anyways, you can always find me on YouTube. If you ever get a reading, want to watch any of my old videos, it's Medicine Woman Soultion. That's Soultion. We want to help you help yourself. And that's important. Help you help yourself. Okay. Hashtag thank you, spirit. You're already blessed and you're already whole. So I want you to stay blessed and happy.